The night sky above Earth burned with unnatural light. It was not fireworks, nor the aurora that once danced across the poles. It was fire, cities burning, ships falling, and the last screams of humanity carried through broken communication signals. The alien fleet had come without warning. Sleek black ships emerged from a rift in space, blotting out the stars. For centuries, humanity had wondered if they were alone. That question was answered with weapons far beyond human understanding. The first hour, they struck every major city. Beams of white energy cut through skyscrapers like paper. Oceans boiled in places where alien weapons touched the water. Governments tried to respond, but satellites fell silent, and power grids collapsed. Humanity's most powerful weapons, nuclear missiles and orbital defenses, were destroyed before they could be launched. The aliens were efficient. They did not speak to humanity, did not demand surrender. They simply eliminated what they believed to be a threat. Far above Earth, in the command vessel of the alien fleet, the Supreme Executor observed the planet with cold, calculating eyes. "Confirm. Elimination of all human resistance," the Executor ordered in a voice like steel. "Confirmed," replied a subordinate. "Cities neutralized. Communication networks offline. Planetary defenses disabled. No life signs of organized human activity." The Executor nodded slowly. "Good. The humans have fallen. The galaxy will be safer without them." Yet deep beneath, the Arctic ice, far from the destruction, something still lived. Thousands of meters below the frozen wasteland, a hidden facility remained intact. Its walls were made of reinforced alloys, designed to endure any disaster. It was called Project Aurora, humanity's most secret creation. Few on Earth had ever known it existed. Inside the silent halls of Aurora, machines still hummed. Red warning lights flashed across consoles, triggered by the loss of global networks. A single AI core, buried at the heart of the chamber, had been waiting for one terrible signal: the extinction of humanity. That signal had now come. One by one, cryogenic pods began to unlock. Inside each pod lay a human unlike any other. These were not ordinary soldiers. They were the Aurora 12, men and women engineered for one purpose: to be humanity's final defense if everything else failed. Steam filled the chamber as the first pod opened. A man stepped out, tall and broad-shouldered, his eyes sharp and alert despite decades of sleep. His name was Commander Elias Kane, the leader of the Aurora 12. The AI spoke in a calm, mechanical voice. "Warning. Human civilization collapse confirmed. Alien forces occupy Earth. Primary directive engaged: restore human survival." Kane blinked, trying to take in the words. "How long have we been asleep?" 37 years, the AI replied. "All known human life signs have ceased. You may be the last." More pods opened. Soldiers stepped out, each one different, but all sharing the same traits: enhanced strength, speed, and senses beyond normal human limits. Their minds were sharper, trained with knowledge stored directly in their neural implants. A woman with dark hair, Lieutenant Aria Vega, approached Kane. "Commander, is it true? Are we the only ones left?" Kane's jaw tightened. He looked at the AI screen showing Earth, burning cities, alien fleets hovering in the sky. "Yes," he said, "at last. It looks like they finally did it. They killed every human." Silence filled the chamber. For a moment, the weight of extinction pressed down on them, but then Kane's expression hardened. "No," he said quietly, his voice like iron. "Not every human. We're still here." The AI displayed a map of alien movements. Scout ships were already approaching the Arctic. The aliens did not know what lay beneath the ice, but they would soon find out. Kane turned to his soldiers. "Listen to me. We were made for this. Humanity is gone, but we are still alive. We don't surrender. We don't hide. We fight. The soldiers looked at him with grim determination. They were the last hope of a dead species, and they knew what had to be done. Far above, the alien executor celebrated victory, unaware that humanity's most dangerous warriors had just awakened. Beneath the ice, in the silent Arctic chamber, the 12 soldiers prepared for war. For humanity was not finished, not yet. The Arctic chamber was silent except for the steady hum of machines. Frost still clung to the walls, and mist curled across the metal floor. The 12 soldiers stood in a half-circle, eyes fixed on Commander Elias Kane as he studied the glowing screens of the AI core. The AI spoke again in its calm, mechanical tone. Global human population, 0 detected. Alien forces maintain planetary occupation. Probability of human survival without action, 0%. Kane's jaw tightened. He glanced at each of his soldiers. They were all awake now, strong, alert, and ready. Each of them had been trained since birth, enhanced to be faster, smarter, and stronger than normal humans. They were weapons, but weapons with hearts, memories, and loyalty to the species that created them. 37 years. Kane muttered. The world has changed while we slept. Lieutenant Aria Vega stepped closer. Commander, what do we do? We can't fight a whole alien fleet. Kane turned to her, his eyes steady. We do what we were made for. We fight smart. We strike where it hurts. We make them fear us. Another soldier, a tall man named Darius Holt, clenched his fists. They think humanity is gone. That's their mistake. We'll show them why they were afraid of us in the first place. The AI projected a holographic map. Alien patrols were spreading across the Arctic, searching for hidden survivors or resources. A small squadron of scout ships had already landed, just 50 kilometers away. Kane looked at the glowing map. They're coming. They don't know we're here yet, but they will soon. The soldiers began preparing. Weapons lockers opened with a hiss, revealing rifles, blades, and combat suits, old human technology but deadly in the right hands. Each suit was black, reinforced with armor plates, and linked to neural implants for perfect coordination in battle. Lieutenant Vega examined her rifle, running a hand over its smooth metal surface. Feels strange, like no time has passed, and yet the world is gone. Time doesn't matter now, Kane said. Only the mission. The soldiers armed themselves quickly. They were not just enhanced physically. They could process battlefield data faster than any machine. Decades of combat simulations had been burned into their minds. As they prepared, memories flickered, brief flashes of the old world. Kane remembered walking in a city park as a young man, long before he volunteered for Project Aurora. Vega remembered her younger brother, who had begged her not to join the program. Each soldier had left someone behind, and now all those people were gone. The thought only made their resolve stronger. Moments later, the facility shook. A deep rumble echoed through the chamber. The AI's voice sharpened. Warning! Seismic activity detected. Possible alien drilling or weapons fire near outer perimeter. They found us, Holt said grimly. Kane nodded. Good. Let's give them a welcome they'll never forget. The soldiers moved to the surface access tunnel, a narrow shaft, leading up through the ice. The AI opened the blast doors, and freezing air rushed inside. When they emerged, the Arctic was a white wasteland. The sky above was gray, and in the distance, sleek alien craft hovered like dark birds. Through the falling snow, a group of alien scouts advanced, moving with strange, insect-like motions. Their weapons glowed faintly, leaving trails of light. In the cold air, the soldiers spread out silently, taking positions behind jagged ice formations. Wait for my signal, Kane said softly. The aliens drew closer, unaware of the danger. Kane raised his hand. Now! Gunfire erupted. Blue energy bolts and human bullets collided in the storm. The first alien scout fell before it even realized it was under attack. Vega moved with lightning speed, her rifle firing in perfect bursts. Holt charged forward, slamming into an alien with raw power that cracked its armor. The aliens panicked. They were not used to humans fighting like this. They had believed the planet was empty of intelligent resistance. Within minutes, the battle was over. The snow was stained with scorch marks, and alien bodies lay scattered across the ice. Kane stood over the fallen enemies. "This is just the beginning," he said quietly. The soldiers salvaged alien weapons and scanned the fallen scouts for data. Their technology was far beyond human science, but the Aurora 12 could learn quickly. Vega looked at Kane. "They'll come back with more." "Let them," Kane replied. "Every time they come, we'll be stronger. We'll take their weapons, their ships, and then their fear." The AI's voice came through their earpieces. "Alert! Larger alien forces are mobilizing. Estimated arrival, 2 hours." Kane looked out at the horizon, where dark shapes moved in the distance. His expression was calm, but his eyes burned with determination. "They think they've won," he said, "but they've just woken something they can't control." And so, on that frozen battlefield, the last humans prepared for war, because humanity was not extinct. Not yet. Snow fell heavily on the Arctic plain as the Aurora 12 moved quickly back to their underground base. The bodies of the alien scouts were already freezing in the icy wind. The battle had been short, but Kane knew it was only the beginning. Inside the chamber, the AI displayed new data on its holographic screen. "Warning! Alien fleet increasing ground presence. Estimated time before full assault, 24 hours. Kane studied the map. Dozens of alien ships were landing across the planet. They were setting up outposts and scanning the Earth for any remaining threats. "They're spreading too fast," Vega said. "We can't fight them all at once." "We don't have to," Kane replied. "We strike small, take their tech, and hit them again. Every time we fight, we get stronger." The soldiers began opening more hidden compartments in the facility. Behind heavy steel doors lay weapons humanity had built in secret: experimental rifles, plasma launchers, and combat drones designed to fight advanced enemies. "This is it," Holt said, lifting one of the heavy rifles. "The last weapons humanity ever made." Vega picked up a compact drone and activated it. The small machine hovered above her hand, its sensors glowing blue. "Still works," she said with a faint smile. The AI scanned the weapons. "All systems functional. Power reserves sufficient. For limited operations. Suggest combined human-alien technology for maximum effectiveness." Kane nodded. "Good idea. Let's mix their tech with ours. Every alien weapon we capture makes us stronger." The soldiers set up a work area, quickly studying the alien weapons taken from the scouts. Their designs were strange, with smooth black metal and energy cores that glowed faintly. The Aurora 12 worked like a single mind, sharing data instantly, through their neural links, analyzing weaknesses and finding ways to adapt. "This energy core is unstable," Vega observed. "But if we combine it with our plasma rifles, we can double the power." "Do it," Kane said. "We'll give them back their own firepower." Hours passed as they modified weapons and prepared for the next battle. Outside, the Arctic storm grew stronger, howling against the metal walls of the facility. As they worked, memories surfaced again. Holt paused for a moment, staring at the alien rifle in his hands. "You know, I used to fix cars," he said, quietly. "Never thought I'd be doing this instead." Vega glanced at him. "I used to teach history," she said. "Now I'm living the end of it." Kane overheard them but said nothing. He knew those thoughts were dangerous. Regret could weaken resolve, and they had no room for weakness. When the weapons were ready, Kane gathered the team. The aliens are setting up a base 50 kilometers south. If we hit them fast, we can take supplies and tech before they know what happened. The soldiers nodded. They were ready. Before leaving, Kane placed his hand on the cold metal wall of the chamber. This place had been their home in the dark, their cradle during humanity's long sleep. "We'll come back," he said softly. Then they left. The team traveled across the ice in silence, moving like shadows beneath the swirling snow. They carried both human and alien weapons now, tools of a new kind of war. When they reached the alien outpost, they hid among jagged ice formations. The aliens had set up strange towers that emitted a humming sound, scanning the area for life. Kane raised his hand, signaling the attack. The first shot came from Vega. A modified plasma rifle burst with blue fire, cutting through one of the alien towers. Holt charged forward, smashing into a guard with terrifying force. Drones flew overhead, dropping explosives on alien machines. The battle was fierce. The aliens fired energy bolts that burned through the ice, but the Aurora 12 moved too quickly, coordinating every action like a single mind. Within minutes, the outpost was destroyed. The surviving aliens fled into the storm. "Take everything," Kane ordered. "Weapons, cores, data, everything." The soldiers gathered alien devices and loaded them onto a stolen transport craft. It was the first time humans had taken an alien ship. Vega looked at Kane, a spark of hope in her eyes. "This changes everything. Now we can fight them in the air, too." Kane's voice was steady. "This is only step one. We'll learn, we'll adapt, and we'll take Earth back piece by piece." Far above in the alien flagship, the Supreme Executor watched reports of the battle. "Impossible," one alien officer said. "Humans should be extinct, yet someone fights back." The Executor narrowed his eyes. "Then we will crush them completely. Send more forces. Leave nothing alive." But deep in the Arctic storm, the Aurora 12 were already preparing for their next strike. Humanity was learning faster than anyone expected, and soon the galaxy would remember why humans had always been feared. The stolen alien transport craft cut through the icy wind, flying low over the frozen plains. Inside, the Aurora 12 sat in silence, weapons ready, eyes sharp. Every one of them understood what was coming. They had struck once, and they had won. But victory came at a price. The aliens now knew that humans still lived. The AI's voice came through their comms. "Alert. Alien forces mobilizing in response to recent attacks. Enemy fleet redirecting additional troops to Earth. Probability of direct confrontation, 100%. Kane stood near the cockpit, looking out at the gray horizon. "Good," he said quietly. "Let them come. We'll give them a fight they'll never forget." The soldiers had been busy since their last raid. They had combined alien tech with human weapons, building new tools of war, rifles that fired energy bolts, drones equipped with alien shields, and explosives far stronger than anything Earth had once created. "This is it," Vega said, loading a power cell into her rifle. "They'll throw everything at us now." "They think numbers will win," Holt replied, checking the stolen alien blade at his side. "They don't understand humans. We don't stop just because we're outnumbered." The craft slowed as they reached a new alien outpost. This one was bigger. Dozens of ships surrounded a glowing central structure. The aliens were building something, but the soldiers didn't know what. Kane studied the scene through a scope. "Looks like a command relay. If we destroy it, we'll cut off their communications in the region." "That would give us time to plan our next move," Vega said. Kane nodded. "We go in fast. No one survives. Take what you can. Leave nothing behind." The craft landed silently on the far side of the outpost. The soldiers moved out, spreading through the shadows of the icy terrain. They were fast, silent, and precise. Then Kane raised his hand. Now! Explosions ripped through the outpost. Modified drones dropped charges on the alien ships, tearing them apart in bursts of blue fire. Vega fired from cover, taking out one alien after another with deadly accuracy. The aliens reacted quickly, but they were not prepared for humans who fought like this. Kane moved through the battlefield with perfect coordination, every step calculated, every shot precise. Holt cut through alien soldiers with raw strength, using the stolen blade as if it were part of him. "Commander!" Vega shouted. "Incoming from the east!" Kane turned just as a massive alien war machine emerged from the snow. It was tall, with multiple legs and glowing cannons mounted on its sides. "Hit it with everything!" Kane ordered. Rockets streaked through the air. Energy blasts slammed into the machine. It fired back, beams of light cutting through the ice and rock. Finally, Holt leaped onto the machine, planting an explosive at its core. He jumped clear as it detonated, the blast lighting up the night. When the smoke cleared, the outpost was in ruins. Kane stood in the center of the battlefield, scanning the wreckage. "Gather everything we can," he ordered. "Every battle makes us stronger." The soldiers loaded alien tech onto their stolen craft. This time they found something new, a data core from the central structure. "This could have everything," Vega said, holding it up. "Weapons blueprints, fleet movements, even their command codes." "Then we take it home," Kane said. Back at the Arctic base, the AI analyzed the core. After several minutes, it spoke. Analysis complete. Data includes alien fleet command protocols and weaknesses in their communication systems. A holographic display lit up, showing the positions of alien ships across Earth and in orbit. "This is it," Kane said. "The key to turning the war." But far above on the alien flagship, the Supreme Executor studied the same battle reports. "These humans, they are not like others we have faced," the Executor said coldly. "They learn. They adapt. They will spread like fire if we do not end them now." An officer bowed. "What are your orders?" "Send everything," the Executor replied. "No survivors. Burn their world to ash." The alien fleet began to move, hundreds of ships changing course toward Earth. In the Arctic, Kane and his soldiers stood in the dim light of the chamber. They now had the knowledge to strike at the aliens directly, even their fleet in orbit. Kane looked at each of them. "We've been reacting until now. That ends today. It's our turn to hit them where it hurts. We're not just fighting for survival anymore. We're fighting to win." The soldiers' eyes burned with determination. Humanity had been nearly erased, but now Earth's last warriors were ready to take the fight to the stars. The Arctic chamber was alive with energy. Lights blinked across consoles, and the hum of machines filled the air. The Aurora 12 stood ready, their eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the vast alien fleet in orbit. Commander Elias Kane took a deep breath. This was the moment they had been preparing for, the final battle for Earth. "The alien fleet is strong," the AI said calmly. "Estimated enemy strength, 400 ships. Our available forces, 1 stolen transport and limited weapons. Probability of victory, low, without strategic advantage." Kane nodded. "Numbers don't tell the whole story. We have their codes, their weaknesses, and we have the will to fight." Lieutenant Aria Vega checked her rifle and smiled. "It's time." The stolen transport lifted off, carrying the last soldiers of humanity toward the dark shapes of the enemy fleet. As they entered space, the cold silence pressed around them. Outside, the alien ships glowed with blue light, their weapons ready to destroy anything that dared approach. Kane's voice was steady in their comms. "Remember, we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for everyone who ever called Earth home." The soldiers braced as the transport slipped through the enemy's defenses. Their plan was bold. hack the alien command system using the stolen data core, then strike at the flagship's power source. If they succeeded, they could cripple the entire fleet. Suddenly, alarms blared. Alien fighters swarmed around them, beams of energy lighting up the dark void. "Hold formation," Kane ordered. The soldiers manned their weapons, firing back with alien tech adapted for their use. The battle was fierce. The transport shook as enemy blasts hit the hull. Vega took down a fighter with a precise shot. Holt used a compact energy cannon to blast another away. "Almost there," Kane said through gritted teeth. "Prepare to deploy hacking drones. Small." Machines released from the ship, speeding toward the flagship. Kane's neural implant connected with them, guiding their movements. Inside the flagship's control room, the Supreme Executor watched the approaching drones with suspicion. "Destroy them," he ordered. But the drones slipped past defenses, entering the command system. Data streamed back to Kane's team. "Access granted," the AI said. "We can now control enemy communications and disable key systems." With a sharp grin, Kane ordered, "Cut their power grids! Disable their weapons!" Suddenly, the alien fleet flickered. Lights dimmed. Weapons went offline. Chaos spread among the enemy ships. Taking advantage of the confusion, Kane led the transport, straight toward the flagship's power core. The soldiers deployed explosives, racing against time as alarms blared. "Get clear!" Kane shouted. The team sprinted back to the ship just as the core erupted in a brilliant explosion. The flagship shook violently, its energy fading fast. Without its command ship, the alien fleet lost coordination. Back on Earth, alien ships began retreating, their forces scattered. The Aurora 12 returned to the Arctic chamber as heroes. They had fought against impossible odds, and won. Kane looked out over the frozen wasteland. "This is only the beginning. Earth will heal. Humans will rise again." Vega smiled. "We've shown them that humanity never gives up." Holt nodded. "And that we fight to the last breath." The AI spoke softly. "Humanity's survival confirmed. Hope restored. As the stars shone above, the last humans stood tall, warriors of a new age, ready to reclaim their world and their future." Humanity was not just surviving, humanity was rising.